I'm Kofi, and welcome to Kofi on Friday. Today we're going to talk about marketing in its broadest sense, and that is the third P, promotion. When I'm asked by an investor to write a business plan to get a product out there into the market, I have to take into consideration his understanding of what marketing is, or her understanding of what marketing is. To some people, marketing is simply selling. To some people, it includes a broad spectrum of activity from research all the way through to delivery of product on the shelves. So let's use an example. A businessman approached me once to create a record company for him on paper. He asked me to consider the marketing options that he had. I asked him, well, how much money do you have? He said, well, not a lot, $5 million. So $5 million doesn't really get you that far. Realistically, you have to take into consideration not only advertising, but public relations. So, rather than buying a ticket to go to a conference, you can ask the conference organizers whether you can speak at that conference. And so when he was setting up his record label, where he wanted to introduce new hip-hop artists to the community, for example, he wanted to make sure that they were positioned in the best possible light. So realistically, he couldn't go out there and spend tons and tons of money advertising, because who really would take that hip-hop seriously if they're just simply promoted in these big ads, big colorful glossy ads, whether they be in magazines, newspapers, or even publications that are published on a weekly basis. What he wanted to do is he wanted those publications to write about, to speak about his product. He wanted the newspaper editors to write. He wanted the radio station and television stations producers to produce news segments on his artists. He didn't want to buy ads per se. So he wanted to allocate that $5 million over a much longer period to make sure that he had the credibility necessary when he rolled out the actual music product, whether it be online or whether it be actual compact discs. And that's the difference. Advertising or public relations, time and money. These are the allocations you need to take into consideration while positioning your product appropriately in the minds of the consumer, especially when weighed against the competition. And that's what we'll talk about next week, positioning, which has a lot to do with brand. I've been Kofi, this is Kofi on Friday. Subscribe if you like, and we'll see you next week.